I've recently lost 10 pounds. I'm going to share with you some of the tips that really helped me. Let's just get into it, because you know what? We don't have time to waste, because summer is creeping by, less than 60 days. And I know you're trying to lose that weight. I know you're trying to lose that weight. And take it for someone who's losing weight right now. I feel like I've cracked the code for myself, and this may or may not help you, but I think it's going to help you. I'm going to make it very simple for you. You just have to be intentional. Maybe you have done this already, but the first thing that I want to share with you is get your total daily energy expenditure. Okay, you're going to Google that. Just write TDEE. Okay, TDEE. You're going to write that into Google, and you're going to see, like, it's going to say like calculator.net or something like that. I'll put it on the screen over here. You're going to click on it and you're going to put in your information, right? But what I would suggest, you're going to put in your actual age, put in your goal weight, height, and how much you're exercising, or if you're not exercising, put that in. You're going to get a number that says your maintenance. This is the number of calories you're going to get for your maintenance weight. So I went by that number, my maintenance calorie for the weight that I want to be. Then this is what you're going to do. You're going to get one of these. Okay. If you don't already have one, get you a scale. As annoying as it is to weigh your food, I'm not saying you do it forever, but just to get an idea of how much more calories you're probably taking in, your mind might be blown. I was eating double the amount that I should have been eating in calories wise. The next thing is, listen, I know this can be triggering. I know. I simply had to eat less. Quick story, I live in the US and I went to Europe for the first time years ago. What was shocking to me when I was in Switzerland, when we would go out to eat, they would give us a plate of food, and say that plate of food cost $30. Can I tell you, that plate of food looked like appetizers to me from what I'm used to in the US. Like, it was such a small amount of food. And I was like, oh, where's the rest of my food? I'm looking around and other people are like, yeah, where's the rest of it? It's not till then that I realized that we as Americans eat way too much. When you go out of other countries, you realize that. Just as a visual, say you're getting something at the Cheesecake Factory, it was probably like a fourth of what I got at the Cheesecake Factory for double the cost. And why am I telling you this? Because I had to deal with eating less, being, on vacation. I had to deal with eating less. Not only was I still nourishing myself, I didn't say I was starving myself, right? Yes, I was still hungry because I was used to bigger amounts, right? I was used to bigger amounts. But I couldn't afford to keep buying more and more food. So I had to just deal with that. So why am I saying that? I'm not saying that all your plates can have to be like appetizer sizes. You can have big salads. You can have like really filling meals. You know what I mean? Just slowly, little by little, cutting back the size portions of my foods. Now that you know how much certain foods cost in calories, you start to figure out, okay, I'm going to have this and a little of this instead. Another thing that really helps is exercising. No lie, the first month of exercising and slowly changing my diet is so hard. It feels hopeless. It feels like I should have got results on day 2. One of the things though that helps motivate me is watching motivational videos, having like pictures of my goal body, body goals, right? I'm more of like a inverted triangle kind of shape. So I try to find pictures of women that have that kind of shape. Do you know what I mean? But have abs and are toned. So it's more of a motivation for me to get there, as opposed to me trying to be like someone else who has a different body type than myself. So I say that because having pictures of body goals really helps on my phone. Like, all right, girl. And honestly, giving myself tough love really helps. When I don't want to work out, I be like, girl, you better get up. Girl, you better get your butt up. Okay, girl, you better get on the treadmill and just start walking. Just start walking. Okay. So that's how I pretty much motivate myself in order to be consistent. And doing these videos help me to hold myself accountable. Make videos of your journey. You don't have to post them. You can easily make a YouTube channel and keep it private. And if you wanted to post them, you could. You don't even have to put it on YouTube. You could just do the videos and just use it as motivation. Use those pictures of your journey as motivation. Another tip I want to share with you is try to make your foods from home. Just a quick story. It's going to make sense in the end, so just bear with me. I've told this story before, but years ago, when I was in school years and years ago, right? I was studying biology and I was not doing well. I was not doing well. And I called a cousin who was a biochem major and was flourishing in his career. And I called him and I complained to him. I said, biology is hard. I can't do this. I want to quit. I don't think I can do this. And he listened to me rant and rave and all this stuff. I was like, it's so hard. It's so challenging. I can't get A's. It's just too hard. And he listened to me. And then when I stopped ranting, he was so quiet, right? To the point that I was like, are you still there? He was like, yeah. He was like, you're making it harder for yourself. And I'm like, when you get mad, you start to get high. I'm like, how? Because that's honestly how I felt. This was very hard. And he was like, you're making it hard for yourself. And he hung up on me. Okay. Talk about tough love. Do you know I was so mad that day, but it made me think. He said I was making it harder for myself. Basically, I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. Instead of like trying to do shortcuts in this college life by like doing things last minute. After that conversation, I prepared so well before exams. I read, I took notes before class. I reviewed my notes and took notes after class. I ended up being an honor roll student after that. Why am I saying that? Sometimes we know what we're supposed to do and we don't want to do it. We just want to just do it our way, and that's okay. I believe there's more than one way to get to a goal. But if you take anything from this video, if you take anything, try something different. Okay? Like for me, I like going to Kava, right? But I can't spend that money every day at Kava, and I need to make sure that I'm within my calorie budget. Welcome to Developing Hers Kitchen. Today we're going to be making falafel wrap. I think it's really delicious. I usually get it from Kava or I get it street food in DC. But the first thing that I'm going to do in order to make this recipe is to soak my dried chickpeas overnight. This is what it looks like the night before, and this is what it looks like the next day. It absorbs the water and is nice and plump and ready to cook. I'm going to add all my ingredients to make it, taste all good and spicy. The first time I've ever had falafel, I don't know if you've ever had falafel, you let me know down below. But the first time I've ever had it was in my hometown of Cambridge. My good friend Mimi took me to this spot, and it was actually one of the spots that Ben Affleck, the actor, frequents. And guess what, you guys? One day I saw the back of Ben Affleck's head because he was walking away from the restaurant. Anyhow, I put all the ingredients into my food processor because that's the way I like it, okay? And then I'm going to add it to a tray to put into my toaster oven because I like to bake mine. It's a little healthier that way. But this is a great time for a joke. You want to hear a joke? What kind of music does falafel like to listen to? What kind of music does falafel like to listen to? Rap music. Get it? Rap music? No? Tomato? Whatever. Anyways, this is how I make it. I add lettuce, tomato, pickles, cucumbers, and some onions, some red onions. And I added the harissa sauce, which is very spicy. And y'all, it's not kava, but I can make it anytime I want it on a budget, so it works pretty well. Let me know if you've ever tried falafel. I know how frustrating it is when you're putting in that work in the gym and you're putting in that work in the cardio and you're not seeing anything. Trust me when I say I'm 99% sure, if you don't have any medical concerns or issues, that if you adjust your diet, you're going to see some better results. Eat less potatoes. I didn't say don't eat it. I said eat less. Eat less avocados. I didn't say don't eat it. Eat less. Um, Figure out what you think is causing more of the weight gain in your diet and cut back slowly. If you did find any value from this video, of course, hit that like button. Let me know what you're struggling with or what you've been tweaking in your diet. And I'll see you next week in the next video. I'll probably post it over here. Bye. You know what? I didn't even take a picture of my waist. I should probably take a picture of my waist.